I realized that my life was at risk because they could actually crawl behind my back and poison me. None of you will know that actually this has been caused by some undesirable elements within the state. So I decided that I was going to seek medical attention out of the borders of the republic. And therefore, I mean, against my will, I've never done that. But I have to do it because the environment is extremely, extremely hostile, where they're even posting that, well, we hope she comes back dead. So this is the situation. No one wants this kind of publicity. But
welcome to Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold. And we begin today's bulletin with heartbreaking news that has left the nation in mourning.
Brothers and sisters, I wish to sincerely thank you that you accorded it to us while we were unceremoniously and unconstitutionally detained.
Zambia has lost a giant. Edith Nawakwi, the country's first female Minister of Finance and President of the Forum for Democracy and Development, has died.
I realized that my life was at risk because they could actually crawl behind my back and poison me. None of you will know that actually this has been caused by some undesirable elements within the state. So I decided that I was going to seek medical attention out of the borders of the republic. And therefore, I mean, against my will, I've never done that. But I have to do it because the environment is extremely, extremely hostile, where they're even posting that, well, we hope she comes back dead. So this is the situation. No one wants this kind of publicity.
Nawakwi, aged 66, passed away in the early hours of Monday, April 7, 2025, at Coptic Hospital in Lusaka following a brief illness.
Government to take us before the courts of law and allow us to get bail.
In 1998, Edith Nawakwi made history when she was appointed Minister of Finance under President Frederick Chiluba, becoming the first woman to ever hold the powerful position in Zambia's history. Her appointment broke gender barriers and inspired a generation of women to dream bigger. Later, she became a founding figure and president of the Forum for Democracy and Development (FDD), a party she led with passion and courage. She championed good governance, economic justice, and women's rights, often standing tall in defense of the Zambian people.
My issue is, how could a trained police service go to a potential crime scene and mess up the evidence by driving? Jack Mwimbu continues to tell us one lie after another, and we are tired of this lying.
One senior political figure described her as, quote, a daughter of the soil, a fearless and patriotic leader who stood firm in her convictions.
Edith was not a female, she was a man in a female skin. She was very resilient and forthright with what she did. She knew her rights and she fought for humanity. So I would say she was not a female, she was a female in a man, she was a man in a female skin.
I watched Nawakwi, coming on the stage in Chifubu Stadium in Ndola, when she was just young, being brought in by Basata. And she was vibrant, MMD by then was in opposition. They won the elections and Nawakwi was appointed. I think she was our first female finance minister. She was our first female finance minister, Nawakwi, and she was vibrant. She was good. It's so sad. It's really, really sad. It's sad. Anyway, it was during the time this privatization that we talk about happened when Nawakwi was actually in government and she was finance minister. The contracts that we talk about of Hakainde Hichilema having having been part of the privatization that was going on, it was during the time of Nawakwi. It was during the time of Nawakwi. Fast forward, Nawakwi was in opposition, Hakainde Hichilema in opposition, and the feud started because Nawakwi used to bring out so much information about Hakainde Hichilema. And Hakainde Hichilema hated her for that. I'm doing this to respond to some of you who want to say Nawakwi hated Hakainde Hichilema. On the contrary, Hakainde Hichilema hated Nawakwi because Nawakwi used to bring out information that she knew about Hakainde Hichilema. You can be upset, you can say whatever it is, but from my point of view, Nawakwi stood for the poor. Nawakwi stood for the poor, whilst Hakainde Hichilema stood to make money. Hakainde Hichilema stood to make money, whilst Nawakwi was there standing for the poor. I want you to get it right. I want you to get it right, and I want you to know why there has been so much feud between Hakainde Hichilema and Nawakwi. I want you to understand, because some of you are actually young. You don't know where, this conflict or hatred, I think I will just call it hatred, where this hatred between Hakainde Hichilema and Nawakwi came from. I want you to get it right. Get it right. Get it into your indoctrinated heads. I want you to get it into your indoctrinated heads, because some of you, you don't think properly. You just swallow whatever nonsense that Hakainde Hichilema and UPND give you. You don't know facts. You don't know shit. You don't know anything. But you are busy talking. You talk out of ignorance. You talk out of ignorance on some of these issues. The hatred between Hakainde Hichilema and Nawakwi stems from the experience that they had. Because Nawakwi knew Hakainde Hichilema very well. She knew Hakainde Hichilema very well. I mean, we must set the record straight. I want to set the record straight. As we mourn Nawakwi, we must know exactly what it is, what transpired. We must know, so that you don't go on spreading some falsehood, things that you have been cheated before. I want, as we mourn Nawakwi, we must mourn Nawakwi for the person that she is. Nawakwi stood for the poor. Hakainde Hichilema was taking from the poor.
From all of us here at Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold, we send our heartfelt condolences to the Nawakwi family and the nation at large. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
I wish to sincerely thank you that you accorded it to us while we were unceremoniously and unconstitutionally detained. I wish to thank you really for your support. It's your support that forced this unconstitutional government to take us before the courts of law.